Hi Aries, welcome to Golden Truth Tarot. Now let's get started with your July reading. The first week of July, it's going to have very fiery, very intense energy, a lot of unexpected events. We also have two major planets, Saturn, the planet of rules, structure, discipline in your sign in Aries, going retrograde starting from July 1st all the way until July 13th. And Saturn is asking of you to slow down, Aries, to pause, to reevaluate your work, to reevaluate your path, because something better is out there for you. You need to pivot in a different direction. We also have Neptune, the planet of fantasy, imagination, dreams, in your sign in Aries in retrograde starting from July 4th all the way until August 1st. And it's like the veil it's lifting with Neptune in retrograde. You can finally see the truth. You can finally see a lot of hidden things that you weren't able to see before. And now that you will come to these conclusions and all these discoveries, it's going to be intense because some of you might be affected in your love life. You might find out that your partner has been hiding some very important truths to you, something that you know it's going to be an issue, a problem, something that it's a deal breaker for you. You might even have fights with one another, disagreements. It can lead to a breakup for some Aries. Of course, this is a general reading, so it's not going to affect every single Aries in the same way. For some, it can just be you putting some very strong boundaries and having some difficult conversations with one another. For others, you can find out that something unfair has been done at work towards you. You might found out that someone has been trying to be deceitful, someone has been trying to take advantage of you in some way. So you have to have some very hard conversations at work. For others, it can affect your family or your relationship with friends. Whatever this is for you specifically, at first, Aries, of course, being a fire sign, you're going to have a very emotional, explosive reaction when you might fight, you might disagree, big conflicts. Once that settles, once that initial expression of anger, just once you feel more relaxed and more calm, you're going to understand that everything that is happening, it's happening for you because some things weren't built in solid grounds, and those structures that weren't solid, they need to collapse in order for you to build something stronger, in order for you to build something more long lasting. And in the second week, you will feel like you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You feel proud of yourself, proud of how you handled certain things happening in the first week. You might even be appreciated from your community. You can feel the support either online, or you can feel the support from friends and other people around you, how proud they are that you stood your ground, that you said what you um, that you said exactly everything that you've been saying and you've been talking about. And when it happened to you, you were strong, you were determined, and you stood up for yourself. It's also a week where you will focus on your plans, you will focus on your future goals, hopes, dreams. You're looking at the future, you're not thinking about the past, leaving things behind, and even saying to yourself things had to happen in that way in order for you to avoid bigger problems in the future. So you had to see the red flags and the issues in order to stop it and make some changes to protect yourself in the long term. In the third week, I see you going back to your true authentic self. We have the page of wands. This is your energy. You will understand that you don't have to stay in a toxic environment. You don't have to stay in a toxic relationship. You have options. You are someone who is very attractive. And Aries usually take really good care of their physical appearance. You usually have really nice bodies. You're athletic. You never struggle to attract attention, either male or female. You always draw attention, and you're very flirty, and you're one of those people who likes to lead. And if you have been in an environment where it's been toxic, or it's been trying to suppress you, or it's been trying to put you into a box and to be submissive, that's something that you can't tolerate for a long time, Aries. You need to be free. You need to be yourself. You need to lead. You need to have control. You need to do things your way. And you're going back to yourself in the third week. This applies for those of you, Aries, who ended the relationship in the first week, and now you're going back out, being free, being single, enjoying life, having fun, flirt, just have a good time, feel like yourself again. For others, it can be a change at work, where if you're unhappy or you're not content with the problems that you had at work, now you might decide to either choose something else, collaborate with different people, try something new. And I see you feeling very passionate about the new opportunities that are coming your way. You're happy, you're passionate, you're exciting. This is this is new things. This is exciting news. You're feeling great. You feel like you have so many options and you want to try so many different things. There's also going to be a time of high highs and low lows, because in the second week, from feeling great, feeling amazing, to the third week of feeling exciting, feeling very optimistic and positive, there's going to be a shift in the last week where you will finally, your body is going to relax enough where you will see how this whole time you were in autopilot. Almost, you were doing things mechanically because your body was on fight or flight. So you were just going through, you were in survival. You were just going through the motions of having to do things on a daily basis and just keep going with your routine. And you were there, but you weren't there because your nervous system was so tense. And I see that finally you will understand, wow, I was really in a difficult position. Now I can finally relax. Now that you are going to be out of that situation, now you're going to feel relaxed. Now you're going to feel like your true authentic self. It's also going to be a time of having to rest, having to relax a lot, having to allow yourself that transition. It's like almost soldiers when they go to war and they're fighting, and then they're fighting, and they don't really understand what's going on until they come back with their bodies and their mental health, until they come back from war, and then they have PTSD and they have anxiety and they have other issues because their nervous system is going back to being regulated from all the trauma that they have endured. Of course, this is a general reading, so this is not going to apply to every single Aries. For some of you, can be a more strong traumatic event where you truly need to slow down, relax, take care of your body, prioritize your health. For others, it can be something small, something that you will be like, oh, that was stressful. I'm glad I'm out of that situation. I'm glad that's over. Now I can go back to being myself and be free and be and do the things that I want to do without having all this pressure, without having all this stress, without having to just deal with someone else's issues. Because I see a lot of the thoughts that you had, a lot of the pressure wasn't even yours. It was from someone else. So you were worried about someone else, thinking about someone else, or they were bombarding you with all their thoughts, all their worries, all their problems. So now that you remove yourself from this person, from this situation, you can free your mind. You don't have to be worried about them anymore and have all this pressure from them anymore. And you're free. You're free. This is the end of um stressful time for you, and this is a time also to rest, relax, see the truth, see your life for what it is, go back to your plans, to the things that you want to do for yourself, for your future. And from the Oracle of Love and Romance, the message for you guys says, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. A lot of you are, you're number one, you're leaders, you're the first of the zodiac, Aries. So you are very, very strong mentally, and you have this drive, this desire to move forward. And at times, because of the circumstances, maybe you found yourself stuck into a specific situation. And the 11 tells me that this is an important message. If you're born in the 11th, if your life path 11, and you can calculate it by adding up the numbers of your birthday as single digit, of course, your time of birth, your the date you were born, excuse me, the date you were born, with the month you were born, with the year you were born, all a single digit. If you come up to the number 11, you're a master number 11. Or if it's a 29, still break it down to an 11 or a 38. So this is message is stronger for you if you have that 11 energy, because you have the strength and you're so emotional, and at times you can compromise due to the love and affection that you have for other people, and you can tolerate. But now it's time to go back to you, go back to yourself, Aries, and to see how powerful you are inside. So look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Okay, Aries, this is everything that I see for you for the month of July. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave me a like, a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're interested in a private reading with me, you can find me online, and you can book on my website on www.goldentruthtarot.com. You can see the link here below this video, also in the description box. Thank you so much, and I see you next time. Bye bye.